Thank you for coming on such short notice, Honorary Knight. I know you must be busy. Well, to make a long story short, there's a particular matter at hand that the Knights requires your assistance with.
Seems the Knights are busy as ever.
Yes, it has been one thing after another recently. Neither myself nor any of the Monstadt garrison are able to catch a moment of peace.
Most unfortunate, I must say.
I have recently received multiple reports from the Knights of someone within the Lawrence clan having close dealings with the Fatui.
Lawrence.
The Fatui? Again? But who are the Lawrence clan?
There was a dark period in Mondstadt's history when the aristocracy ruled over the city. The hard-won freedom that followed with the fall of Decarabian was lost once again as slavery spread throughout the land. The first Dandelion Knight, Vanessa, spearheaded the revolution that overthrew the old aristocratic system and established the Knights of Favonius, leading Monstadt to become the city that you see today. The aristocrats that had oppressed the people of Monstadt were none other than the Lawrence clan.
Oh, Paimon gets it! So the clan's descendants are now scheming with the bad guys to carry out more dubious deeds.
We suspect as much, though we have yet to obtain any solid evidence. The reason I summoned you here today is to ask you to help us further investigate this matter.
But why us in particular?
Unfortunately, the Knights of Favonius and the aristocracy have been at odds with one another for as long as I can remember. We've already considered every possible way of resolving our differences, but it seems the descendants of the aristocracy remain antagonistic towards the Knights. No matter what stance we take when dealing with them, the outcome is always the same. Our efforts only result in adding more fuel to the flames. We could come knocking on their door on the grounds of a search warrant, but if the investigation were to come up empty, I'm afraid tensions and distrust would only increase. All of our past efforts would have been wasted.
But as the honorary knight, I technically also belong to the Knights of Favonius. Therefore, it would still technically be you stepping on the Lawrence's toes.
You are in fact the best candidate to represent the Knights of Favonius. But you need not emphasize your role as the honorary knight. You're a traveler from a distant land, and you can approach the aristocrats in this way. Once you come to friendly terms with the Lawrence clan, you should be in a good position to learn more of their possible connections with the Fatui.
Whoa, leave it to Master Jean to come up with such a thorough plan.
Perhaps such plans have become second nature after all the diplomatic issues I've dealt with. The name of the Lawrence clan member in question is Schubert. Lately, he can often be found strolling near the northern city walls. It is said that he is difficult to get along with due to his temperamental disposition, but if we approach him calmly, then things should go off without a hitch.
I certainly hope things go smoothly.
Thanks again for your help. If you run into any snags along the way, I'll do anything in my power to support you.
Wouldn't that be potentially politically disastrous for you? I'll try to avoid having to call on you. If only because it would be far too much of a bother for you. And frankly, you have more than enough to deal with as it is. Oh well. It seems we have dealings with Eula's family now. Well. As I'm having dealings with the Lawrence clan, I think it only fitting that I bring Eula in to contend with these matters.
More speed.
Now then, let's see where we can find our former aristocrat. Windmill Keeper. And who might you be?
Huh? Who are you?
Hello, we're here too.
Hello?
And what is wrong with our greeting?
What's wrong? Did you just say what's wrong?
Yes, I did.
Huh. And I suppose you think that you can simply strut up here and greet me in such an ignoble and vulgar manner?
You call that vulgar, do you? Oh boy, you have no idea what vulgar even is. But, fortunately for you, I don't particularly care to give you an education in the matter.
Given that I don't recognize you, I can only assume that you are a traveler of some variety. I'll have you know that you are speaking with the Schubert Lawrence, a blood descendant of the magnanimous nobility. If you wish to address me, you'd best consider your words more carefully. Such nonchalant manners are inadmissible and will never do. Now, if you're somehow capable of understanding anything I've said, then you will get down on your knees, apologize for your negligent actions, and give me a proper introduction. That is the appropriate etiquette.
And why don't I simply cleave your head from your shoulders, you pompous fool? Also, I wouldn't call a tyrant who murdered his own people magnanimous.
That's etiquette? Paimon's never heard of something so complicated before.
Huh. In former times, when people knew their place and respected traditions, such conduct was only basic courtesy when greeting a nobleman. And neglecting your manners would result in a swift whipping. But look at the world now. Rules have been thrown to the wayside and manners forgotten. I cannot bear to see such degradation.
It's no wonder the aristocracy fell. Quite simply, no one liked any of you.
What did you say? You dare question the dignity of the nobility?
Oh, I don't question it. I refute its existence if you are the best they can conjure up.
I'll have you know that though the Lawrence clan is in decline, myself and others of noble blood are looking for a chance to restore our rightful honor. Just look around. The people are unruly and undisciplined. I, however, strive to retain the elegance and etiquette of the nobility. After all, we are of a completely different breed by birth.
I haven't said anything just yet. But you're making it very hard not to.
Save your words. I find your manners and bearing repulsive. I have nothing to discuss with the likes of you. Besides, I am in no way obligated to instruct commoners on basic courtesies. Now I have more pressing matters to attend to. I'll take my leave.
So this is what Master G meant by difficult to get along with. Let's head back and talk things over with her.
One would think that having lost the crown and their throne in old Monstadt might have done something to humble the nobility. But if that man was anything to go by, it's only emboldened them. I suppose if I were to be generous, it simply made them harsher.
Well, if it isn't the honorary knight. I'm just on my way out to gather some intel. I didn't expect to run into you here. Huh? Judging by your expression, you must have run into some trouble.
Master Jean tasked us with a special assignment, but things seem to have run aground for the moment.
It wasn't our fault.
No need to get down on yourself. Sometimes things just don't turn out as planned. Even I can't guarantee useful intel every time I'm dispatched. You just have to keep at it and never give up.
Thank you.
Hey, why don't you let me try to help? What's the problem?
Master Jean asked us to build a connection with someone named Schubert Lawrence. But it turns out that he's a peculiar character that doesn't listen to anyone, especially Paimon.
Aha, Schubert! I know him. Let me guess. He said you didn't have any manners.
Sounds like you're no stranger to his rants.
I've been on the receiving end of his lectures many a time. The Lawrence clan can be very particular about such things.
You mean everyone in the Lawrence clan is just a big headache?
As aristocrats, they believe there should be a certain distance between themselves and common folk. I understand their thinking, but that's just not how things are anymore. However, there is one exception among the Lawrence clan, my good buddy, Eula.
Buddy?
That's right. Not only is she from the Lawrence clan, but she's also captain of the Knights of Favonius 4th Company.
Jean told us that the Lawrence clan sees the Knights as enemies. How could a member of their lot join with the Knights? And why would they wish to?
Eula is special. She's not quite like the other members of her clan. She has her own beliefs and it shows. In other words, she doesn't really adhere to the strict rules and conventions of her family. However, she's still quite knowledgeable about dealing with the Lawrences. I'm sure you'll see what I mean if you meet her.
That's strange. If Eula is a member of the Lawrence clan, then why would Master Jean choose us for the task? Couldn't she just ask Eula?
My answer to that would be to simply assume that Eula is very much estranged from the Lawrences, due in no small part to her allegiance to the Knights, the blood enemies of the Lawrence clan. And that alone would be enough reason why sending her, despite her familial bond, would likely go poorly.
Well, it's a little complicated. Basically, the Lawrence clan has frowned upon the fact that Eula joined the Knights. Her family members don't particularly care for her. In their eyes, Eula is nothing but a traitor to the family.
I guess that's understandable from their point of view.
She's very easy to get along with. Just explain the situation, and I'm sure she'll help you come up with a way to get along with Schubert. In fact, I think she's out in the wilderness on patrol this morning. You should be able to find her around Stormbear Mountains.
Thanks, Amber. All right, you heard her. Let's go find Eula.
Good luck, you two. I've got my own matters to investigate.
I see.
Who would have guessed the Knights have a member of the Lawrence clan? Well, if you want to learn about the conduct of the Lawrence clan, who better to ask than one of their own family members?
Well, I guess you couldn't really ask for a better... well, on the one hand, asking a member of their family would be an immediate way to hear of them, but whether or not they would tell you the truth is another matter entirely. Well, I guess we have to go and see if we want to find out if Eula would be willing to let us in on the family to-do. Okay, so Eula should be somewhere around here. Oh, is that a Fatui I see? Multiple Fatui.
The Fatui? What are they doing here? Is that why Eula was sent on patrol here? Let's fight first and talk later.
You need to hurry up.
Our bond is strong. Crush. Flood of frost.
Counter attack. This was well
The
done.
night is cold. Don't be scared.
Access denied. Stand with me. Oh. settle this.
You need to hurry up.
Shut up.
This one's well done.
Yeah, beg for mercy.
You need to hurry up. Roasting fry.
My guiding stars.
Our bond is strong.
You need to hurry up.
Crush. More speed.
An unfortunate fault.
More of them.
Vengeance will be mine. Rack and ruin.
Stay.
And down they go. Flashy entrance, Eula.
You don't think twice before reaching for your sword, do you? Do you have any idea how long I've been tracking these targets? And now you get to stake a claim. You think you're stronger because you got to them first? Mark my words, vengeance will be mine.
What?
You want revenge on me for capturing your quarry before you?
That's right. I heard the commotion and came as swiftly as I could, only to find you two already fighting the Fatui. Not only that, you are making quick work of them too. If I didn't make my move, you would have been able to take all the credit. Still, I'm glad you're unscathed. Confronting that number of Fatui at once can be dangerous.
Actually, I'm quite used to fighting the Fatui.
Sorry, Paimon doesn't understand what you mean, but thanks for your concern.
Concern? Why would I be concerned for the safety of my arch-enemies?
Arch-enemies? Wait a minute! You were saying how glad you were that we were unscathed a second ago!
By which I meant, if you were injured, I'd have to escort 2 strangers guilty of stealing my targets all the way back to Monstadt. Which would mean you'd cause me even more trouble. My vengeance would be swifter still.
Huh? So that's how you see all this?
So, you're Eula, I take it then.
Yes, that's me.
Paimon thinks she's pretty strange. Although at least we can communicate with her.
You dare to call someone you've just met strange? Forget the aristocracy. That's rude even by normal standards.
Well, you've kind of surrendered normalcy by declaring vengeance against us, and further calling us your arch-enemies after just meeting us.
Speaking of which, how do you know my name?
This is the honorary knight of the Knights of Favonius. And speaking of rude, we're trying to investigate an aristocrat named Schubert Lawrence. He's so obsessed with etiquette that he's not even willing to speak with us.
I understand now. That's my uncle, all right. But why do you mean to investigate him?
He may be secretly involved with the Fatui. And after what happened in Liyue, I am simply not willing to let the Fatui do anything without scrutiny and supervision.
I see. You have some nerve to faming a family member right in front of me. I will have vengeance for this too.
No. This is an assignment from Master Jean. It's just an investigation, that's all.
You do realize that she can now claim vengeance on the Knights of Favonius because you said that, Paimon? Well, why don't I ask? Aren't you worried about your uncle?
To the everyday citizens of Monstadt, Everyone in the Lawrence clan is scum. It's natural for rumors and unwarranted gossip to lead to such suspicion.
Hard to avoid such a reputation when you're known as the ruthless rulers of old Monstadt.
Oh, so that's what you think of me? Yet another transgression to avenge.
But didn't you say it first? Oh.
Curious. We've only just met, and you've already given me 3 causes for vengeance. It's been a while since I've encountered anyone as interesting as you.
And yet you seem rather happy that I have apparently grieved you thrice over.
I assume you need me to teach you the conduct of the Lawrence clan. Only then will you finally be able to communicate with my uncle, correct?
That's right. Amber told us to come and talk to you.
Well then, let's begin your training immediately. It'll be easier to train when we're back in Monstadt. We'll require other people.
But aren't you plotting vengeance against us?
We can put that aside for now. Besides, if it's the acting Grandmaster's assignment, and Amber's the one who recommended me, I should comply.
Paimon's confused. This girl's all vengeance this and revenge that. But she doesn't seem the least bit angry. Still, Paimon has met bigger weirdos before.
Indeed we have.